Hi everyone. So I am going to briefly, or at least attempt to briefly explain more about who the HGA are and what our mission is. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be like, absolutely 100%. This is my cup of tea, and you'll remain with the community for many more years to come. So, where did it all begin? So, that logo that you see in the screen was our original logo when we first started back in 2020. So the Holistic Grooming Academy was born from an idea that came from the success of my very first book, which was The Magic of Holistic Grooming. So I partnered up with Authors and Co, and I created the very first of its kind book on holistic grooming theory, and it was more coming from a behavior inspired approach as opposed to what many other holistic groomers had maybe ventured into in the past, which was more kind of holistic therapy based and crystal healing and things like that. So I introduced a concept that actually looked at behavior and cognition, behavior concepts and training philosophy, and how that can improve the experience a dog has during grooming and also our experience as groomers as well. So it was founded during lockdown. So the very first lockdown to hit the world obviously forced all groomers to stop what they were doing and go into their wee bubbles, literally. So before the Holistic Grooming Academy was launched, I was running a multi-award winning high street salon called Scrub a Dug Dug, um, pun intended. And yeah, I was doing very, very well. I took my training in grooming back in 2018 and realized very much kind of from day one that there was lots and lots of gaps in our industry, specifically on how to safely handle and interact with dogs. And I think the blessing being that I came from a multi-dog household, dogs of which needed different things. I had, for example, a female Tibetan Mastiff who, in the presence of food, would turn into the Tasmanian devil and try and destroy everything in sight. So I had to micromanage my household, and I had to learn quite quickly that dogs were more than just barky, slavery beings. They were actually multidimensional and they required very bespoke care plans. So I was already actively invested in learning more about canine behavior and emotions and the link between that and what dogs were feeling. So I was already really interested in learning more. So I was a student of the Low Stress Handling University that was founded by the late Dr. Sophia Yin, which opened my eyes to the world of positive training, counter conditioning, classical and operant conditioning, all of the sorts of stuff that to a groomer might sound completely mind-boggling, but in hindsight, hopefully after you've spent some time in our community, you'll realize that actually everything's connected and relevant, and these sorts of concepts are actually very helpful in achieving a more cooperative and low stress space. So that was kind of my background. So I was exploring behavior already before I founded the Holistic Grooming Academy. So I took part and completed the silver certification program through the Low Stress Handling University. I then went on and did my level 3 and level 4 diplomas in canine behaviour with the International School of Canine Psychology. I then did my diploma in safe dog interaction and bite prevention with the amazing Tony Shelburne, who was a tutor at the time for the ISCP. I actually completed that with distinction, and then I went on and did the pet dog ambassador program, which then gave me my dog instructor license, so as a dog trainer through the Pet Professional Guild. And then I went on, what else did I do? I did have a look at the Fear Free Protocol by Dr. Marty Becker, and I absolutely loved his approach and ethos. The only thing that got me with that certification was how easy it was to get it. Multiple choice and things just didn't sit well with me in terms of really showing the world your value. If you can just select multiple choice and kind of cheat the system, so to speak, to get the certificate at the end, which I feel was the kind of common theme for all online courses. And I'll actually speak a wee bit more about that, because obviously it sounds quite hypocritical given that we are online as well. But it was kind of inspiration again behind the HGA. So obviously when by the time lockdown hit, I was already quite kind of savvy about canine behaviour. So I wrote this book because I had all the time in the world to do so, and it introduced this sort of approach that I had to grooming my own dogs in my salon, where I'd built up quite a good reputation for handling more difficult cases, and getting really good results as a result of the knowledge that I had done over and above my training. So it was an overnight success. It became a #1 Amazon bestseller in 7 categories, including veterinary medicine, which blew me away. And from that, it kind of sparked the idea to actually, let's do something more with it. I got an influx of people, groomers specifically, messaging me saying, I completely resonate with everything you're saying. My training was really bad. I would love to learn more. Do you have a course? And that kind of gave me the inspiration to change. So I totally rebranded my business from Scrub a Dug Dug to the Holistic Grooming Academy. And I never have looked back since. So that is basically where we came from. Me personally, as I've said, I've took you through all of my certifications and sort of like, branches that I have. I'm also level 1 and 2 Reiki, specifically Let Animals Lead Reiki certified. So I'm a practitioner of that. I've also got a level 2 in kinetic chain release, which is actually a human focused holistic therapy, which is, it involves realigning the hip leg length difference and kind of releasing your kind of hip flexors and things as well, but also works with the fascia, and it actually can be used on dogs as well. It's a non-manipulative holistic therapy. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. It is I was lucky enough to stay next door to the founder of that, who's actually since then passed away as well, Dr. Hugh Gilbert, but he was absolutely amazing as well. So I have, since obviously publishing the Magic of Holistic Grooming, published more books as a result. I've got the bug. I love to write. So I have got other books as well, including I Can Be a Dog Detective, which was my first joint venture with local illustrator Julie Bryden, and we did I Can Be a Dog Detective, which is all about safe dog interaction. And it's actually my son that's the main character of that. And all of the dogs are dogs that I've worked with, or even my dogs in the family home as well. So it's a very personal book to me. It was also a Page Turner finalist as well, which I'm very proud of. I also published A Teacher's Guide to Low Stress Grooming, which is a resource and reference book for salons, is what I wrote it for, but it could work for any sort of grooming business as well. And it's actually quite helpful for carers as well. It goes through all of the kind of canine signals to look out for from within a grooming context. So it's really good. I've also got Help My Dog Hates Grooming, which was more focused on dog carers who have dogs who find grooming a scary experience, so anxious dogs for grooming, and also the Bespoke Holistic Grooming Planner, which I will go on to talk about as the months and things go on as well. But for now, let's just move on. So the HGA are very proud of who we affiliate with and who endorses us as a result of our strong reputation as welfare-driven educators. So some of the affiliates you might recognise yourself, some you may not, but to kind of briefly go through them, Save Our Seas Dogs Put BSL to Sleep is a charity that we support, and equally they support us. They do a lot of kind of online workshops and things for us. Yapily as well. We've got the late Sarah Fisher, who was the founder of Ace Free Work, and we were lucky enough to get her into our space to give us a fantastic webinar. If you are a premium member, you'll get access to that via the membership hub space, where she talks all about Ace Free Work and how it can benefit the grooming industry as well. Dr. Mark Beckhoff, who has even mentioned us in his book Dogs Demystified, and he also endorses everything we do at the HGA, and he and I had a great conversation about grooming and dogs and behaviour and the experience specifically, which you can watch in the library as well. We've got the data method, we've got CAD, Kids Around Dogs with Debbie Luckin, we've got Linda Michaels of Do No Harm Dog Training, we've got Pet Remedy, we've got Dr. Isla Fishburne of Kashina Wellness, the Dogs Trust as well, Chrissy Newmayer-Smith. We've got Canine Arthritis Management, and we are also an affiliate of the Pet Professional Network with Helen Motteram, and Barketplace with Caroline Wilkinson, and also the Muzzle Movement. So we have some fantastic affiliates. We've got more than that actually, but we can't actually fit everyone onto that slide. We've got Rachel Spencer as well. I think I missed the beautiful Rachel out, which I shouldn't do because she's amazing. So yeah, we've got so many different people supporting what we do, and it just gives you guys that peace of mind to know that if these sorts of people are endorsing us, then we can be trusted, and equally it goes both ways. Okay, so our mission then, so what was the mission when I first created the Holistic Grooming Academy? I think the number one goal for me was to raise industry standards. So when I attended training, I was exposed to various different welfare breaches. It didn't sit well with me, but I was told that that was the way it was, and that was the way it would always be. When I would, potentially try and suggest different training methods or different behaviour modification methods, I was shut down. I was told that we're not trainers and that we wouldn't be paid to be trainers, and that at the end of the day, no matter what, grooming will be stressful, so let it be. And I just wasn't okay with that. So I decided that I would make it my mission to change how, success was measured in the grooming industry by introducing an entirely new approach to grooming processes, which focused on setting really strong foundations in behaviour knowledge and handling knowledge and safety knowledge and dog bite prevention knowledge and things like that as well. Because ultimately it's about the experience for dogs. If the experience is positive for dogs, then our approach to grooming is going to be low stress and our results are going to be better long term as well. So we were all about, and I am all about, teaching students to look at the bigger picture. So what is our role in the dog's overall care plan, and how can we enhance the experience for dogs to make it better, and how can we work with other professionals in order to make sure that their care is consistent and synchronized at all times. So again, synchronized care is something you will hear an awful lot about over the next wee while you're in here, and it's just basically how we can all work together to do our bit in making sure that the dog has the very best chance at thriving in life. We ultimately are just one part of the jigsaw puzzle, but we need all parts in order to create the whole. So, and that's where holistic comes in at the end of the day. And also, I wanted to finally kind of put professional groomers on the map when it comes to being recognised as valued pet care providers. Currently, I believe that the general consensus of professional grooming is that we are glorified dog bathers, and that is just not the case at all. We are actually in a fantastic position to identify early signs of disease, of injury, of stress, and we could actually work with vets, for example, in order to prevent prolonged suffering. So how can we work towards early preventative care? And we can. So it's putting us on the map when it comes to that by challenging groomers to learn more than what they currently are in curriculum, so that they are equipped to do these sorts of things competently and confidently as well. So that is our core kind of mission. As I've said, we wanted to bridge the educational gaps of existing curriculum. So we are not taught about behaviour, we're not taught about training, we're not taught about anything about the emotional experience for dogs or even self-care. And these are things that we at the HGA strive to educate on. So we ask the question, if we don't understand dogs, then how can we possibly be able to work with them positively and safely? So we focus on 4, but actually 5 key areas. So we focus on behaviour. How do dogs think? What is behaviour, and is there such a thing as a bad or difficult dog? We focus on training, which is how do we achieve cooperation in high stress environments, and is training significant in the role of grooming? Spoiler alert, it is. Safe handling, so how do we interact with and respect a dog's need to feel safe, and does physical touch impact the experience a dog has? And then also the grooming environment itself, so how do we come from the dog's perspective and view our environment from the dog's eyes? Because ultimately, if we can't adapt our space, then we can't expect to achieve low stress results. So how is our space impacting the results we're getting? And I mentioned that there is a 5th point as well, and that's self-care. So as it stands, we all are aware that the veterinary world is rife with compassion fatigue and burnout, but I would argue that the grooming industry is just as bad. just like vets, we are seeing dogs on a regular basis, but we are also seeing dogs day in and day out in extreme conditions. So we're faced with various neglect cases, we're faced with various welfare cases, and we're also faced with this outdated and aesthetic driven expectation that's coming from how the grooming industry itself is promoting and glamorizing grooming. So when we're seeing dogs that maybe don't have the best temperament for more, articulate styles and things like that, and we're telling carers like that's not achievable right now, we're also facing the emotional exhaustion of trying to convince carers to take a more holistic approach to things as well. So there's a load of things going on in terms of our own self-care, and it's neglected more often than not. So we at the HGA really emphasize the significance of self-care. How do we preserve our own emotional well-being? How do we look after our bodies in terms of wear and tear? How do we support ourselves in the face of customer conflict? How do we also face things like other pet professionals looking down our noses at us because they don't consider us to be knowledgeable in the things that we are in the HGA knowledgeable in, and how do we improve the overall kind of disconnect that's occurring here that's setting us apart from all other sectors as well. So that's something else that we're doing and we're passionate about. So as I tapped into earlier on about, my experience with online courses and how I felt like they weren't advanced enough, it was very easy to obtain certain certifications because it didn't involve more advanced training or more advanced assessment, so to speak. When it comes to grooming specific online courses, they tend to be very easy. It's very multiple choice based, in which case you can manipulate it, obviously. So I wanted to create something different. I wanted to introduce the first advanced, almost academic inspired course for groomers, where they would have to jump through a lot more hoops in order to obtain their accreditation. So the accreditation course that I have has been accredited and quality assured checked by various different awarding bodies. At the start, it was UK Rural Skills and CPD UK. It then went on to CPD Group, and then the Complementary Medical Association, and lastly, IPET awarding body. And we are still actively accredited through IPET and also the CMA, because they too we feel are the most important ones for us based on what we are looking to do going forward. So our accreditation process is actually quite advanced. It's a range of different practical tasks, multiple choice, but multiple choice is only for students' reference to see how much they're retaining in order to highlight any weaknesses in their learning that maybe need to be reinforced more before continuing and so on. It's not part of the actual marking rubric at all. We have practical tasks, and we also have a final grading assessment, which is a more kind of advanced kind of final project to basically showcase everything that you've learned and to show competency before potentially getting your graduation status, which is never guaranteed. So it's a 24-month long course. So it's like a diploma, like an official college diploma, where you can at the end of it be assured and knowing that you are competent. Now, some people do complete it fast track in a year, but we don't tend to let people pass it unless they've studied for at least a year with us, okay? But that's the accreditation. We also have theory only, which is obviously just for your information. It's like reading a book, okay, that you do not have to go on to obtain your accreditation. If you just want to know the information, it is available to you through the theory only course. And we do recommend, if you are a professional groomer in this space, investing in that at some point, because it 100% will help you create a much lower stress grooming environment and also prevent dog bites and things like that as well. It's a fantastic course. I'm not just biased, it has won various awards as well for being as efficient at doing that. So we also have memberships and support partners. So we are a member organisation of the ABTC. We are also a member organisation of the UK Dog Behaviour and Training Charter, Pet Remedy, and also NICC as well. So we do show that we are, ethical and welfare driven through our own memberships with these organisations. So I also just want to emphasize another kind of key pillar to our organization, and it is you guys. It's community, and it's the support that we provide you. We're very, very proud of the space we've created. We have not, in the last 5 years since starting, ever came across any conflict of ethos at all, which we're very lucky to say, because especially in the online world, it can be very toxic. But we have done everything we can to safeguard our community space and keep it a safe and inclusive space for everyone. And we've done a really good job of doing that thus far. We're proud of the reputation we have. And we just want to reinforce the fact that you guys are the most important part of our organization. If it isn't for you, then we wouldn't be here. So we do really appreciate your support and you being here in this space and showing day in, day out your commitment to a more advanced and welfare-driven industry. It really is. I mean, inspires me every single day. And I think that we all inspire one another, which is what makes the HGA so effective at what it does. So our kind of key words to really represent us as a community is care and compassion, cooperation and consent, curiosity and creativity, because we're always learning and we're always like thinking of alternative approach as well to things, and that just really summarizes us up beautifully. So let's move on to the next one. I've obviously talked a lot about synchronized care already, but one of our main goals and strategic missions really is to create a system where we're all working together, which is why we leave our doors open to not just professional groomers, but other pet care providers and also you carers in our community as well, because ultimately we're striving for everyone being on board and on the same wavelength. And we're also trying to emphasize the importance of every dog having a team of care providers that are all consistent, all communicating and liaising with one another and keeping each other in the loop with progress, so that the dog keeps, progressing forward rather than getting conflicting care in different parts of the animal's life. Okay, so we are doing everything we can to work with other pet care providers, and we encourage our students to do the same. And that's why networking in this community is as important as what it is. We are strongly recommending you guys utilising the map in the members section of this community in order to connect with people that are like-minded, so that your dog can get that consistent synchronized care, so that everyone in their team is working towards the same goal and mission. All right, so that is basically it. It is key to preventing prolonged suffering. It's key to progress, and it's key to really allowing your dog that opportunity to thrive. Okay, so it's another thing to know about the HGA. You will also see two of our admin pop up from time to time. So we've got Vanessa Barber of Wagatha Christie's, and we've also got Claire Hudson Hill of Raggy Rascals Holistic Grooming and Pet Services, both of which are HGA graduates, so former students of the HGA, but also within their own right are more than qualified to help you guys and support you guys as well. Now, if you are on the accreditation, then one of them will be your tutor or myself. So we're also working with you and supporting you in your learning journey. But equally, Claire and Vanessa are there to help with any kind of teething problems that you have in the community space. If you have any, problems, then please do reach out to either Vanessa, Claire, or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help. Vanessa and Claire have also been in press. They've also won various different awards for their approach to grooming. So you're in good, safe hands with us three behind you. We are all about, like I say, community. This photo here, I absolutely love it. We do occasionally arrange meetups in person, more often in the UK. So only in the UK thus far. It would be amazing to actually branch that out. It would equally be amazing for you guys to all connect with each other and then share photos of meetups over and above like what we do personally. So we do have a website for HGA merchandise where you can actually invest, you can buy like a t-shirt or whatever with our brand on it, and then get together over coffee, take a photo and share it to the community and show us all of you guys connecting. It would be amazing if we could get that kind of thing going. But we also will have occasional events where you can come and meet us as well, meet the admin and meet myself. And it'd be lovely to do it. This one here was for charity. We did it for, I think, the Dogs Trust, or maybe it was BSL. I'm not entirely, can't remember, but it was such a fun event. It was at the Lake District, and we all had a fantastic time. So it was fantastic to just meet people in the community and know we're not just people on the screen, But ultimately, we are a small organisation. So although we are international, we've got members all over the world, we actually are micromanaged by just me, predominantly me and Vanessa and Claire, and we don't intend to really make it any bigger in terms of bringing in any corporate leaders or anything like that. We want to keep it very, very small so that we can safeguard the HGA integrity at all costs. So we do rely on you guys sharing our community to your friends and peers. Like I say, we are a very small community of people, but we are hoping to reach everywhere. We've got big aspirations and dreams, and it's like the ants in, is it A Bug's Life, where the cockroach comes out and he says, one ant might not make a big difference, but a lot of small ants can make a huge difference. And that's what we see ourselves as being, the ants in the industry, where, slowly but surely we will prevail, and we will show the world that a more welfare-led approach is the best way to go forward. But we do rely on you guys. So that is basically the end of the HGA introduction. I hope that I have convinced you all to stay here and feel safe sharing your learning experience with us. And I really just want to emphasize that this space is just as much your space as it is mine. We are an HGA training, sorry, we are an official training provider space, so there are things we have to censor at times, but as long as it is, and on par with our code of conduct, then we welcome absolutely everything. We want you to treat it like home. We want you to feel safe here. And so we are so super excited to have this school community space accessible to everyone. And we are looking forward to seeing where it takes us. So thank you so much for being here. If you do have any concerns about anything I've talked about, then please do reach out to me. You can do it via DM, or you can even email me in at Stephanie at Holistic Grooming Academy, and I will get back to you. It may take me up to 7 days because I'm very busy, but I will get back to you. It is easier DMing me though. You're more likely to get a quicker response that way. But please do enjoy the space. I'm sure that you will love it once you get your kind of your bearings about it. But yeah, like I say, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you for many more years to come.